local congressmen are thanking a terminally ill Green Beret from Pinehurst whose story of military medical malpractice helped change federal law. Lawmakers listened to Stayskal's story and passed a bill that, for the first time, will allow service members to get compensated for negligent medical care.
So I joined the Marines in 2001. I did a 4-year tour of service. I was honorably discharged. I got out shortly after I was shot by an insurgent sniper in Ramadi, Iraq. I had about a year and a half break of service, and then I ended up joining the Army, and a lot of that reason was it was a Green Beret medic that provided my chest tube and ultimately really saved my life. And just to see the way they worked and operated, it was something that I kind of just gravitated to and saw as something I was interested in, and I wanted that challenge. And I wanted to be a part of that community that could provide such things for other service members. So around 2006, summertime, June, July, I joined the Army and went and started working my way to become a Green Beret through selection, through the schooling and everything else. And then I went to 10 Special Forces Group for about 8 years or so. And then over to Fort Bragg, where I became a sniper instructor. And that's where I was working at the time, teaching sniper school in 2017, that I found out that I was being diagnosed with stage 3A lung cancer.
I was selected by the Army Special Forces Group to attend Special Forces Underwater Dive School, Combat Dive Qualification Course, CDQC. Because of my previous gunshot wound, it was mandatory that I could not attend this school without having a CT scan done of my lungs to ensure the safety of myself and other divers. While attending dive school around the end of March 2017, I was experiencing difficulty breathing, and by April 2017, I'd begun noticing signs of declining health. Finally, I had enough. I had to admit myself for help. I went down to the SWIT clinic to seek treatment, and they called an ambulance and sent me down to the Womack Army Hospital.
Doctors at Fort Bragg's Womack Army Hospital ignored a tumor growing in his lung.
I knew deep down something was not right.
He says when he was allowed to see a civilian specialist in June of 2017, he found out Army doctors had noted the growth at 2 separate appointments, but did nothing.
So the following week I went in and I had a biopsy done on my lung. And when I woke, I was woken up to my wife crying and learning that I had, at the time, stage 3A lung cancer.
And then from there, I went through chemo, surgery to have part of my right upper lung removed. They thought that was good and I was going to be ultimately cured from there.
I eventually did a PET scan, and the PET scan revealed that my cancer had been metastatic and had spread. I was diagnosed stage 4 terminal. It was rough, you know, and then just all the thoughts of everything kept coming back, and it was like, man, that hole, if it had been 6 months ago and somebody had told me, it would have been a different story. It was half the size, and it hadn't grown onto my trachea at the time. It had just been on my lungs.
I have the right to sue if a doctor does something wrong to me, but just because he puts on a uniform, he cannot.
A Green Beret is taking his battle to sue Army doctors all the way to Congress, even as he battles for his own life. Active duty service members cannot sue for medical malpractice or negligence because of a 1950 Supreme Court decision known as the Ferris Doctrine.
I'm sorry about your situation.
No, thank you, I appreciate that.
On Capitol Hill, they went office to office with their attorney.
Going around trying to spread awareness about the issue and gain support on the bill.
I did not even know that that members of our military didn't have the right.
Today, we have a panel to help inform us of the issues surrounding the Ferris Doctrine. Our first 3 witnesses are pained victims who have been aggrieved firsthand by the outdated judicial doctrine.
We have people being injured because of negligence outside of duties as a combatant.
It's our duty and obligation to stand up for those who have been wronged, particularly those in the military who are willing to put their lives on the line to protect us.
In July, the U.S. House passed the Sergeant First Class Richard Stayskal Military Medical Accountability Act of 2019.
A landmark bipartisan bill that was signed into law in 2019. It gives the Department of Defense nearly $500 million to investigate and pay out military medical malpractice claims for the first time.
The president has signed this. It's just an amazing feeling to know that this is finally done. It's a change for service members across the board. It's a change for America. It's just a great day for everybody.
So I came up to Washington, D.C. To meet with legislators in the House and the Senate, as well as potentially, hopefully, members up in the Pentagon at DOD. Recently, my claim in the last 2 weeks or so for the medical malpractice was denied.
Today, we're here to share with everyone that Richard Stayskal, who the bill was named after, was denied by the DOD.
Of 155 claims that they have received, DOD has already denied 140 of them.
When you misdiagnose, when there's clear malpractice, then the service member, their family, needs recourse. And to say that nothing would have changed had the diagnosis been correct is bullshit. And DOD knows it.
In the final days of his life, stage 4, he's terminal. He's fighting
and
for
he
something.
believes.
He believes.